Alright, hello once again. I'm back. A little bit quicker turnaround after a long delay in getting stuff out there. I'm going to try and do it a little bit more regular. But I thought I'd share another fun list. Last one we did our Rakdos Zealot deck, which you can see is right here, and we'll still work on that and try and refine it a little bit. But we had some fun playing that. Had a few interesting games with that one. Now we're going to try and do a different one that's fun. We're going to do Reanimator and Historic Pauper. So this is Rusty Reanimator because it's based on Rusgoliath. This deck came about for me in the Pauper Decathlon event, which we had. Did not enjoy the event, but it did get me thinking about brewing decks in a different variant of Pauper, which I like, since it's different than the Explorer meta and it's different than the Historic Pauper meta. The deck I played there was a Jund version of this list, which basically led to me running Rusgoliath and Ambitious Dragonborn, and then there's a 5 mana black spell that returns a creature from the yard to play. We can bring in the Superior late for dinner out of white, which is a little bit better. It's cheaper, gives you some food token to gain some life back that you're going to be losing as you're taking hits getting this set up. I may need to play with this deck a bit and see how it does in terms of getting me to the point, but it can do a pretty good job of getting things out quickly. How we facilitate that is Cleansing Wildfire and our bridge suite. So we've got 9 bridges, 10 red sources. So this gives us a pretty good shot of playing Cleansing Wildfire. If we have Cleansing Wildfire in our hand, we typically play that on turn 2, accelerate out that 3rd land, get us to 4 mana, and that gives us enough to play our Dragonborn and late for dinner. We can get Goliath in the yard via Bitter Reunion. Great card. Puts it in the yard and then gives it haste on the way back when you bring it into play. So that's a good way of getting into the yard. The other creatures we have that will go to the yard that are serviceable, Crescent Tosker, that'll make your Dragonborn a 6/6. Greater Tanuki also makes it a 6/5 with trample, makes your Dragonborn a 6/6. And then we've got a singleton copy of Sandworm. Why did I do the split this way? The reason why is we're running a Faceless Agent suite. I'm just doing one for now because there is a concern that when you have 3 to 4 of a particular copy, that if you run more Faceless Agents when you're trying to dig for the creature you want, which is either Dragonborn or the Rusgoliath, you get another Faceless Agent, so you don't want that. So I'm just a singleton copy, so it's giving me basically an extra crack at getting the Rusgoliath or the Dragonborn sooner. However, we need to keep the other count of creatures lower, so we keep them at 2 and 2 for the Tanuki. They're essentially the same thing. Crescent Tusker gives you an extra card, Tanuki gives you trample, and the card and the land into play immediately, but they essentially serve the same purpose. They're different creature types, so it doesn't mess up your Faceless Agent synergy. A couple of Jewel Thieves, just a good creature, fixes your mana, gives you a 3/3 with trample. So, not an embarrassing creature to play, helps you ramp without putting a bad creature into your deck. Could make the case for putting like Landwar Visionary in the deck, since it does ramp mana and draws a card, so we might revisit that. We got a Singleton and Elementalist to get back some of our key spells, like Late to Dinner, or Flicker of Fate, or even Cleansing Wildfire, whatever. If we're trying to search, it helps us get back some of those key spells. I haven't really thought about doing a recursion loop with it in this deck, but maybe we look at it. And then the Singleton Great Worm, a 7/7 serviceable. You can cycle it away on its own, so that's a good one. Maybe we bump that up to 2 copies at some point. Not really sure, but that's also serviceable. Because you're playing a 4/4 a 7/7 for 4 mana. That's fine. We got a couple of Tameo Safekeeping to protect it, and then the Festivities is kind of a holdover from the Pauper event. There was a lot of decks just running swarms of X1s, mostly in white. maybe this is not a card that stays in a main deck slot. I think it's, if we're doing best of 3, I think we definitely keep this in the sideboard. Throw all 4 copies in and look for a way to wipe out X1 decks. However, since I am going to be just doing a little bit of play in best of 1, there are decks that pop up with X1s. In particular, Scoot Swarm is pretty popular. Even though it's just a casual queue, people find it enjoyable to just swarm the board with Scoot Swarms and wait for them to overwhelm you and attack for 50 creatures. So those will come up along with life gain decks and things like that tend to run a lot of X1s too. And then the other little piece that I have in here is Flicker of Fate. You can run Cloud Shift. However, I wanted to try Flicker of Fate because there is a little bit of value to be gained in flickering Bitter Reunion, because it allows you to get more cards. So I can Flicker of Fate the enchantment to get me some more cards in hand and pitch away some extra stuff if I'm flooding out. But the main trick is, that it's going to be used for is if you have a Resolved Rust Goliath as a 3/5, you're going to flicker it and it comes back to the battlefield as a 10/10. So you still only paid the cheap cost for it. In total you pay 7 mana for a 10/10 versus 10 mana for a 10/10. The main thing here is that you're not filling your board with a bunch of mana dorks. The case could be made that maybe you run the Urza's creatures and try and power it out that way. Maybe we'll revisit that for Rust Goliath as well. But the flicker effect of playing cards for cheap, flickering the more expensive and bigger version of them into play, I think that's pretty good. I might revisit another deck with that. I'm definitely thinking about doing a few other decks with that theme, because I really like how that works. And then you have, because all those prototype creatures are artifacts, you've got Built to Last to keep them indestructible, and you can just hammer through things. So that'll be a deck that we come to later. Right now we're just focused on getting that Rust Goliath, and let's maybe play a couple games and see how this does in some live queues real quick. We've played it quite a bit in the bots with Sparky, just to kind of see how things were working. Feels like the ratios are fairly right at this point. It's just a matter of, are the choices correct? Having endless festivities in the main, a lot of times it's going to be a dud. But we can filter it away with bitter rivalries and do a few other things. So let's see how it does, and hopefully it's entertaining. 246. All right, let's see what we got. So right off the gate, this is slow. I would typically want a little bit more land. I do have Bitter Reunion. I mean, I've got the combo in hand. We've got Bitter Reunion late for dinner and Rust Goliath right there. But we're looking at a pretty slow start. I am on the play. I'm gonna have to get white mana somewhere. So that's kind of important. This is a tough one. Typically we have things to filter to get that third one. I don't know. I think this might have been a mistake, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get a untapped land. We get a normal land where you go basic. Playing black white. We're gonna have to fight through some serious. Okay, well there's our white, so that's good. That's helpful. Come on, there we go. All right, so still really slow. Generally not bueno. I think we just get rid of our Rust Goliath and move to the next one. Hopefully they don't have any main deck green. That would be tragic. Boy. Any old basic. There we go. We'll do that. So right now we're looking at turn 5 kill, which, not as fast, obviously, as some decks in the Pauper format. Champion of the Parish. Alright, cool. Alright. what is it? Tap creatures. Yeah, tap target artifact creatures. So, yeah, let's just go for it right now. We'll bring this out. So I don't know if they want to attack into me. They probably have removal. It's probably just straight up kill a creature. They might just tap me down and attack, which would be interesting. Okay, so I'm going to tap it down. Okay. I'm going to tap it down. They're going to punch through for... Okay. Okay. So they're tapping me down. Okay. They're going to come through for 6. They can't get this active this turn, so they're going to have to take a hit. The question becomes... Alright. So let's just get at it. Let's see what they do. Do they block? Come on, get greedy. Do it for me. Get greedy. Cool. And good game. So, yay. There it is. Russ Goliath double strike for the win. So they got a little greedy. They wanted to get their zombie set up, but we got there. So turn 5. Yeah, it was a little slow. Normally we like to see, some untapped lands, cleansing wildfires, things like that to really start facilitating our deck and get going. But that was good. So let's try another one. Let's keep going. Hopefully we don't run into something, a really bad matchup for us. Just somebody who's full on into counter magic or has a ton of removal and sweepers. That could be difficult. Let's see. So this is mediocre. And we're on the draw. So I think we can get rid of this one for now. That's worse. Last one, gotta keep it, so sure. Pitch that. Probably should have just kept the opening one, as bad as it was, but, oh well, here we are. So, that. Cool. That. I probably should have played let's pitch it. Cool, we got faceless, so we got a card there. I think what we're gonna do here is let's get our Jewel Thief out. Let's give them a threat that maybe they sink a removal spell into. Attack. We don't need to pitch the Potion Tusker yet. We're going to be playing something big. I'm guessing some sort of dragon at this point. Any gem dragons? Yeah, there we go. Lion Haste. Oh boy. Okay. And the festivities isn't going to help us. Hopefully we're going to get our Russ Goliath. Yes, love it. So that will give us something to do here. Let's see if we can bait out that dragon. Might as well. Cool. Love it. Alright. Alright, so now they're going to attack across, right? Okay. Alright. So let's put this out here. Let's see what they got. Pass. So they're coming at me, I'm guessing. No, not. Alright, my turn. Hopefully they don't have something that kills it right now. That could be sucky. They might. Alright. Well, let's go for it. It's all attack. No time but the present, right? Okay. Cool. Alright. Cool. Any festivities? Get rid of that turd. Well, that's Crimson Wildfire. Miss. Cool. Alright, what do we have in our yard? Croson Tusker, Greater Sandworm. Okay. So that's fairly reasonable. So I think we're looking at, they might just spend their turn killing stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. That's cool. That's fine. So what we're looking at right now is we're looking at late to dinner. We're just going to Rust Goliath out. We're going to late to dinner it, and we're going to Bitter Reunion Rust Goliath. We're going to late to dinner and attack with it right out of the gate. So, what is this? Okay. And they're all tapped out. So we've got this. I mean, they could have a, yeah, okay. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay, so we are going to Bitter Reunion. Put this out. Yep. Cool. And then we are going to late to dinner. We're going to pull the Rust Goliath back. We're going to give our creatures haste. And we are going to crash through for lethal, barring some sort of trick. So we should be pushing through 8 damage here. Okay, it's fine. Still get through for lethal. So we made it again. I think we got to see good interaction of what those cards do there. Let's maybe play one more. You saw it in the hand. We were holding 2 more Dragonborns. So, if they kill it or survive, you just keep pressuring the board with 10/10s, right? I think the question becomes, do you bring in something that gives those Aetherborns, those Dragonborn rather, trample? Do you give your dude vigilance for like long games? I mean, those I think are decisions that you can make in the sideboard and just kind of run basically the main combo to get them going. I think the main version of the deck probably ups the counts of your Tavia safekeepings and maybe some life gain, maybe another greater sandworm, to give you another 7/7 that goes to the yard. So I think those are maybe some things that we consider when making this specifically for Historic Pauper. Yeah, this is a good start. I mean, I'm missing one card, but we've got the Faceless Agent to hopefully pull out the Ruscalai. So let's hope that works here. Let's see it one time. That's what we'd like to see. So we'd like to see. So we're gonna lead out. Come on. We're cleansing. We're getting some weird internet connection. We're gonna kill that off, but not really. So what we really want to see here is cool. Bummer. Would have liked another dual land there since we're taking a turn off. So this turn, okay. What is this guy running? Oh, indestructible. Combination. Waste. Oh, okay, cool. So we'll do that. Now we want, come on. We want Rust Goliath. We might get Dragonborn, but we would like a Rust Goliath. Perfect. Okay, that'll work. So now we have a couple options, right? We could just play it out, let them waste a removal killing it, because I'm sure they have something that is killable. Or, all right, we're gonna cool, sweet, wildfire, that, take action, ramp our mana a little bit further, there, cool, and then next, more teck, alright, turn. So, maybe we get our double strike, that would be slick. Create a tap power stone token. What does this guy do again? Pay number of mana, look at that many cards. Alright, cool. So, we don't have a... What does this do? Pay any amount of mana, look at that many cards from the top, then put those cards into your hand the rest of the night. Tap and untap artifact you control and just... My turn. Alright. Bummer. No Flicker of Fate. So, what do we do here? -1. They could look at a whole bunch of stuff and put it in their hand. Alright, so let's just do this. Let's late to dinner. Let's get Rust Goliath. Cool. Let's give it everything. Cool. Next, attack that. Attack that. 2 attackers. Next. And then we will end the festivities. Reduce a little bit more. So I'm assuming they're going to kill something here. Artifact spells cost 1 less. Okay, cost 1 less. Alright, cool. Yeah, I don't really know what they're doing here. That's not gonna Four threes, that's not going to stop me. Okay. I mean, maybe you get some more dudes. Oh, that's big time game. So next, I'll attack. Let's go right for the throat. Got it. All right. So fairly successful there. Um, Obviously, these aren't. I mean, we played a few decks in a row that were kind of buildy, right? We played dragons. We played that. I forget what the other one was. But so most of the decks we played were kind of buildy. We didn't face anything that put early pressure on us, and I think that's going to be something that the deck, has trouble against. But we got to see how the pieces work. They seem to go pretty smoothly. Yeah, kind of a fun deck to play, a little something different. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and maybe it's something we take in a ladder or have some fun with. But yeah, we'll come back with some more, and thanks for watching.